Hey everybody, it's Jay Monroe. I know it's been a while since we have had an opportunity to chat, so I just thought I would take a few minutes to touch bases with you guys, and I do hope that all is well for everyone. Things have been great for me, just been super busy, which is why we haven't had this time that I usually try to do at least once a month. So anyway, I do hope all is well. But I do have something that's on my mind this morning, and actually it's been something I've been thinking about for a while. There was an incident that happened a few weeks ago that just has never left me, and it really did make an impact on me, and it really made me really think about some things and put some things into perspective. We were leaving a restaurant from brunch one morning in uptown Dallas, the area. And as we were leaving the restaurant, I caught the eye of a young lady. She was walking across in front of us, but we did make eye contact. And she partially smiled at me, but I knew then, I felt like that there was going to be some kind of interaction with us as we got closer to her and approached her. So as we're crossing the street to the side to where she was walking, as we passed her, she said hello. We spoke back to her, and then she just said, "Are you guys going to eat your leftovers?" And that just kind of stunned me for a minute. I stopped and looked down at the bag that we were carrying with our leftover food in it. And before I knew it, I was handing that bag over to her. I gave it to her immediately. And I said, "Oh no, here," and I'm looking very concerned at her. She's a, fairly young looking young lady, but she was hungry. And she needed something, and I did not hesitate. We didn't hesitate, and even gave her, something extra to try to help her out as well. So we watched her as we went to the car. She took the food, and she went and found a spot on the ground, and she sat down, and she started eating that food immediately. And I was just about in tears. And I just started thinking about the leftovers. Have a lot of leftovers a lot of times. Leaving restaurants, that leftover food never gets eaten. Never eat it. It'll be in the refrigerator for a day or two and then end up dumping it out. It's going to complete waste. It's like, wow, somebody could have really used that. Just like that young lady that did that day. I remember when I was growing up, I used to hear the saying when kids were not eating all their food or wasting the food. And some of you may have heard this same thing as well. You need to be eating that food because there's kids in Africa starving somewhere. And they'd be happy to get this food. I don't know how many times I heard that. But I heard that as a child. And if we really think about it, it's true. But I just want to emphasize on leftovers. And that's going to be a metaphor for what I'm talking about right now. A lot of times we have a lot of leftovers, whether it be food or whether it be other things. And the definition of leftovers is anything that has been unused or unconsumed. It is that is what's left over from a larger amount of something. We know that we all have a lot of leftover stuff, whether it be food, whether it be resources, whatever. There's always someone who could use your leftovers. It might be the very thing that they need to help them to get to where they need to be, to help fulfill a need that they have, to help to get them closer to a goal or something that they're trying to reach, just to help them with just a basic essential need that they have. But how many of us just hold on to all of our leftovers and we hoard all these things? We might have boxes of this and a ton of this and that extra that we have no plan of using at all. But we just hang on to it rather than giving those leftovers to someone who could actually really use them. A lot of times we get afraid to give people our leftovers, especially in the business world. You might have some leftover resources or some additional contacts that may not be a benefit to you, but could possibly be just what someone else needs. But for fear of competition, for fear or of whatever reason it is, or just downright selfishness, we hold on to those leftovers. I want to challenge you all today to think about all the things that you have left over. And what will it benefit you to hang on to them? And then think about who could actually use those leftovers. And then make a conscious effort to try to relinquish your leftovers to someone who could actually really use them. We have to be better at being our brothers and sisters' keepers. We have to be better as reaching out and helping those who are in need of our assistance and doing for others what someone else may have done for us at one time in our lives. Because none of us got to where we are, especially those who are successful, without the help of someone else. There's a lot of things that people need, and there's a lot of people out there who could provide those needs, and a lot of times people just don't do it. And I just want to challenge you all today to get rid of your leftovers. Don't keep hanging on to things that you know you have no use for anymore, and give them to somebody who could really use them. I promise you it'll make you feel so much better. But don't do it for you. Do it for them. Because we are supposed to be good stewards of what we've been blessed with. And that doesn't mean that we have to keep it all for ourselves. Give someone else a hand. Offer them your leftovers. And do it with a grateful heart. So until next time, and hopefully it won't be this long before we speak again. But until next time, I do wish you all the very, very, very best. And as I always say, be blessed always. This is Jay Monroe signing out. Until next time.